So the question is, what's better for fat loss, weight training or cardio? Now, this is going to be a doozy because this is a conversation that happens all the time, and I can't wait to dig into this. So I'm going to answer this question straight up and direct. Number one is, when it comes down to like fat loss, and I'm glad you're focused on fat loss instead of the weight, is understanding that being an active person is important. Moving every day is important. So if that means you're doing cardio or if that means you're doing weight training, that's great, right? Staying active is number one thing you should be doing. Getting active and moving, right? That's the number one thing. Getting out of the sedentary life, because it's so easy, especially after COVID and all this kind of stuff, just to be chilling. That's actually something great. So kudos to you. The second thing is, if you want to ask me the question, like what's best, either one of them, which one are you going to do, right? Which one can you do consistently, right? Can you get out and go do cardio every day? Go do cardio every day, right? Do you want to get out and you want to go lift? Yeah, go lift. But this is the thing we start to talk about, and this is something that's really important, is understanding like there's a lot of things out there that are like really dragging us ways where we see people and we're like, they're giving you the highlights, like, oh, I lost all this weight and I got ripped and toned, and it's like you're looking at them and it's like there's a secret. I didn't do any cardio, no cardio to get to this, to reach my goals, or I didn't have to be on these crazy restricted diets. Like, what is it? And the bottom line is that there's more than one thing that's going to allow you to lose body fat. But let's talk about it in a hierarchy in my mind of what's going to allow you to do it the best way and the safest way. So when it comes to doing cardio or training, they both will help you lose body fat, bottom line. Now, what I will tell you first is that I'm going to lean towards weight resistance training. So resistance training. So making sure that you're lifting weights and building muscle. There's a reason why I say that is because, when it comes down to it, especially depending on where you are in your journey, lifting weights is going to get you to a place where your body is going to say, oh, shoot, right? You're doing something that's making me have to change. And what it's going to do is it's going to adapt to that, and it's going to want to build muscle, which is also going to spike a calorie index, which is going to allow your body to start burning more calories because it's got to repair itself. This is also supported with a proper nutritional diet, but the bottom line is that weight training allows you to do that. Now, do you have to be in a gym for 2 hours? No. Some people are. There's times that I've been, but that's not necessary. Getting, working out and lifting weights, even starting out 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 25 minutes, those are really good as long as you're using the time wisely and you're being very intentful and purposeful in those exercises. That's what's going to get you started by losing body fat. Now, when it comes to doing cardio, the other part of cardio is that, yeah, you can go do cardio and you're going to lose some body fat, but there's a lot of things that are not explained in the process of like what's one is better. If you're doing cardio and let's say you get on a treadmill, stepper, whatever, a bike, and for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, you go burn the calories. Well, guess what? You're only burning those calories because of the activity. As soon as you stop, maybe shortly after you stop burning those calories based on what you're doing. The idea is that if you were to eat something or let's say you ate, 2,800 calories that day, but you got on the cardio machine and all you did is burn, 400 calories, right? Well, then at the end of the day, depending on how much you ate, you've kind of subtracted 400 calories from that 28. But the bottom line is that when I say this to you is that that's all it is. It's done. It's a wrap. But when you lift weights, and the reason why I tell you lift weights is because, yeah, you might go through a weight training and with that same period of time, burn less calories during the time you're doing the weight training. But the difference is that over time, while you're resting, your body is trying to repair itself, and it's going through that process, especially if you're doing the right things, making sure you have a great post-workout regimen. If you are doing the right things, your body is shuttled back out of catabolic, meaning your body is using itself for energy, into an anabolic state where it's actually building and repairing itself. And it's super important because what happens is after you lift weights, unlike cardio, your body is still for at least 24 and sometimes up to 48 hours still burning calories to make up for it. So the cool thing about this is that when you're doing cardio on a machine or whatever you're running, when you're done running those calories, it just stops. That's it. But when you're lifting weights, you continue to burn them over time. So that means even when you're resting, you're burning more calories. Someone who has more muscle mass is actually burning more calories in a rest period than someone who doesn't. So when you're looking at your body mass index and you're looking at your body composition and you're looking at the percentage of body fat you have, well, the bottom line is that when you reduce your body fat and you increase your muscle, your body is actually going to use it and your body's going to increase the calories that it burns. So guess what? It's unlocking that fat storage. So that's something that's super important. And I want to get to this. So when we start talking about it, like, some people will come to me like, so Zim, I heard you and tell them how to do a ton of cardio. You don't. We're not about to just live and die on a cardio machine. We're not going to be out there sweating to death like, okay, let's go every day, because I understand that I want you to know, I want your body to be healthy and have a healthy composition. I'm focused on body fat. right? And that's the biggest thing, is to focus on body fat and building muscle. And I actually focus on the muscle first because I know it'll get rid of the body fat. And by doing that, I also say, we still got to do some cardio. And we're not going to go out here and have to run miles, or you got to do, 5 miles today and 5 miles in 2 days. We're not running a marathon, because if you look at it, the people that run marathons don't have a ton of muscle, right? And you don't have to be this big swole person in order to have lower body fat, but you do have to have skeletal muscle. You do have to build it, because it's actually going to help you in the long run. To be honest with you, building muscle is going to allow you to be able to do the things you want to do, right? And as we get older, one of the things you have to understand is, like, when you don't have muscle in your body, like it actually inhibits you from doing things that you actually need to do, like, putting on your pants, getting up and doing things. Like, you need the muscle, the energy to do that. So that's really important. The focus is cardio or training. And my goal right now is to tell you guys is that there's a mix of two that you can do, and that is going to actually help you elevate your body fat loss and increase the way that your body looks, so that you're happy and that you're healthy and you're doing things that you can sustain. So that being said, let me just break to and give you guys a direct answer. So when it comes down to it, the ways that I look at approaching things is I look at the person first. Now, if there's someone that is extremely overweight, one of the things I'll tell them is, like, going out running, like, you're not about to go do that, because you're gonna pound, it's gonna suck, right? It's gonna suck. You're gonna be running, jump roping with all this weight, which is gonna be horrible for your joints, right? And it's not gonna feel good. What I want to do, I want you to feel good first. I want you to get great energy. So I do stuff like tell you to go for a walk, right? That's cardio, and it's low energy cardio, and it's really good for you, because you probably see a bunch of elderly people and you see some fitness people just walking all the time. Well, the reason why you do that is because not only is it easier on your joints, it's low impact, but also too, the calories that you burn from it, they actually are low energy calories, which actually come from fat. So at the end of the day, you might not burn as many calories if you were on a run or riding a bike, but you're also going to be burning more calories directly from fat. So that's one of those things. But when we start talking about, like, where you're at, again, and if you're someone that's not extremely overweight, it's still going to benefit you as well by getting those steps in. And so that's a huge part, because again, you can do this consistently. You can do this, obviously if you have the right shoes, and you can really make a really good regimen around getting your steps in. But that's also talking about where your condition level is, because at the end of the day, like, even for me, like, I might, I'm in pretty good shape, but I'm not about to go run 10 to 12 miles. Like, I don't believe it, and I don't need to, and that's not something that's important to me. But I do cardio, and I do enough cardio because I understand that my heart health is really, really important. Really understanding that that's one of the biggest causes of death, is having heart issues and having chronic heart disease, right? So I want to make sure that I exercise my heart, but I don't just do cardio because of that, but I do cardio because it also helps with your circulatory system and allowing your body to be able to not only shuttle the blood, but also the nutrition and all the things you needed to be doing. So it's a healthy thing for you to do. But again, you asked me the question, is it cardio or is it weight training? And my answer to you is that there's a healthy balance, but I, again, will go back to saying it's going to be lifting weights and training, right? Doing that is going to be more important. The real reason for it is because when you start to think about where are you actually burning the most amount of calories, which will going to lead you to burning more body fat, it's going to be during the time of rest. I always ask the question, I said, if you were to think about this, if you were to run or do cardio, whatever the form of cardio, or you were to lift weights, or you're just chilling at your house or at work doing your normal daily activities, which one burns more calories? Most people will say, well, cardio does. And I'm like, maybe. Okay, I can for the moment, but again, like I've said, once you do cardio, you're done with it. You're done burning calories. So, you can't burn like 2,800 calories in a day. Some people burn ridiculous amount of calories, but again, it's going to take you forever to do that. So then, and it's going to be hard to. Then when you go to look at like weight training, you may not burn as many calories at the same time as you did cardio. So you're thinking in your head like, oh, well, maybe it's not weight training because I burn more calories during the time. But weight training, the difference is that your body goes through using glycogen for the energy, right? So that's the energy, that's the glycogen, the sugar that is in your body that gets stored in your liver and your muscles, and it uses that energy. Once you've hit that wall of completing your workout and you've got that great workout and you've depleted glycogen, your body is breaking down the muscle because you're trying to build it. Now, this is the key. And this is why it's super important that over the next 24 to 48 hours, you're actually your body's going to be going through the repair process, the recovery process. And in that whole process, your body is using calories to repair itself. And because you're in a rested state, because of this, and you're increasing your body muscle, right? It's going up, you're using more calories, which also means that if you're supporting it with the proper diet, proper nutrition plan, You're also making sure you have enough protein, all those kind of things. You start to tell your body, hey, I need to change. I'm eating and I'm doing my weight training, and I need your body to change, and it starts to release that body fat. So the goal here is to make sure that you understand that your first priority in terms of losing body fat is making sure that you are doing resistance training. Now, when I say that, I'm only talking about these two things between cardio and weight training. But if I were to say first is building the habits of a healthy nutritional lifestyle, making sure you understand how to eat properly. If you're not eating enough and you lift weights and you do cardio, you're just putting your body in too much of a deficit, and your body is going to lock down and it's not going to lose body fat. I see a lot of people will get on a treadmill or get out there and they just run. Man, I ran, and they're running. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna give you a high five because you're better than me. I'm just saying, like, I can't do all that running. I don't want to do all that running, but the bottom line is that what you do by doing that, especially being in a high deficit, is that your body is using your muscle. And because you're not lifting weights, you're not telling your body to actually build muscle. There's no way to build lean muscle by not lifting weights. And when you say you want to be toned, like, you got to build muscle to be toned. You can lose body fat, but at the end of the day, if you have no muscle there, you're just going to be kind of skinny fat, right? It's kind of bad words, but the bottom line is that's what it is. So when the reality is that when you start really thinking about what you need to do is, yes, do you need to do a healthy amount of cardio? Yes, but in this priority, eat better, right? Understand what your calorie intake is and focusing on your macros, making sure that you're at a proper 20% minimum, don't go too more aggressive deficit in your diet. Once you do that, making sure that you have a proper training protocol, making sure that you're doing those complex exercises to make sure that you're actually getting your body to change, and having a protocol that's going to allow you to have progression over time, right? And as you're doing that, being able to then supplement and make sure that you have a cardio regimen in that as well, where you are maybe starting from a unconditioned state of just walking and maybe adding in some elliptical and maybe some other things that are low impact cardio things that are going to allow you to have consistency. Now, I will tell you this is the key. And this is not like anything that's going to be like over your head, but it's something that's direct. No matter if you're doing, and I said this at the beginning, no matter if you're doing cardio or if you're doing weight training, the bottom line is that it's because of what you do consistently. But if you want your body, if you're just concerned about dropping weight on a scale and not concerned about your body fat and not concerned about being toned, then go out there and run your face into the ground. Go out there and run. Go do as much cardio as you want to. But if you really want to be healthy and you really want to feel good about yourself and you really want to have this good balance with your hormones and making sure, and this is for men and women, okay? We're talking about testosterone. We're talking about making sure, when it comes to a woman's estrogen levels and making sure that you're doing well with your thyroids and all that kind of stuff, you have to make sure that you have a great balance of weight training. You have a great balance of cardio, and you're complementing all that with a healthy nutritional plan. So to answer your question directly, to give you guys what you're asking for, is really, if you're listening to me right now, is that I truly believe that weight training is the exact thing that you need to be doing. And if you aren't doing it, now this doesn't mean you got to train 6 days a week, 7 days a week. You're going to need time to recover, right? Most of my clients that have worked with me, I've put them on a 3, maybe 4 day, and some are 5 or 6, depending on where they're at in terms of their fitness level. But that's all it takes. I have women and men losing tons of weight, 20 pounds. And I'm talking about like up to 22 pounds in 8 weeks just by working out 3 days a week and supplementing, doing walking, right? Not crazy cardio, miles of running and all this other stuff, but doing that and doing it consistently with a healthy nutritional plan. So the answer to your question is, yes, cardio will help you lose body fat. Weight will help you lose body fat. But the idea is that you want to primarily focus on, like, the heart of your fitness journey should be in go and pick up some weights. And if you're not confident or don't know exactly where, this is where you get a coach. This is where I come in. Like, I make the strategy so easy because I give you all the instructions. I give you the plan. I give you the strategy, and I do that with your weight training, your cardio. But more importantly, I focus on building healthy nutritional habits around everything you're doing, because that support is the major thing to allow you to continue feeling good, continue getting that sense of motivation and that energy so you can go out and do the things you want to do. Because going to the gym sometimes is not going to feel good, but we start looking at what you got to do, and you start priming yourself, and one day you'll see yourself as you're going through this journey, and you're probably feeling it now, where you're starting to get this like eager to just do more and do more. But the bottom line is like, take the time and get your food together. Stop going after all these crazy diets, and understand, stick to the basics. Understand that habits are going to be the biggest thing to help you lose body fat. And second of all, making sure that you're not putting in, 70% cardio and 30% weight training. Turn that around, right? The percentage of your weight training should be much higher than your cardio, but your cardio has to get done and it has to be consistent. I'll tell you for myself, as of right now, I'm training 5 days a week. I have 2 rest days, right? One of my rest days I consider an active rest day. So I go kick my butt, depending on what it is. I might go run some stairs, I might do some HIIT cardio. So I'm only, doing it probably for like 20, 25 minutes. But I typically in the 5 days I work out, I do 3 to 4 days of cardio. Right now I'm at 4 days of cardio, but I'm not doing cardio for an hour. And for me, this is the thing, this is the key to take away. So you guys want to jump on your cardio, is that if I'm walking and I consistently for, 3-4 weeks, I'm hitting the same amount of steps. So you might start with 8,000 steps, 10,000 steps. If you're consistently hitting that every day, meaning purposeful steps, like they're going to include your daily steps, but get out and walk, then you update it, you upgrade to about, you go 2,000 steps more. If you want to increase your cardio, and let's say you're using a treadmill, there's 2 things you got to focus on, is either duration or intensity, right? So if you're on a treadmill, you don't want to get on a treadmill and start at like 2.5-3% incline, and then you fluctuate to 6 and you go up to 8 and back to 10. You keep doing this because there's a method to when you change this intensity, right? Now, if you're picking up the speed or you're increasing the incline, the most important thing you need to do is that there are benefits at every level of that. So one thing I would say is that if you're starting to walk right now, start at 3% incline and get your 30-minute walk in, right? Probably get you, 4,000 steps depending on how tall you are. But when you do that, or if you're outside walking, but on the treadmill, keep it there. And if you do that for a couple weeks, then incline it to like 4 or 5%, and then do that for another couple weeks, and then incline it again. The bottom line is that you just want to make sure that you're increasing the intensity, right? So speed or the incline, or you increase the time. You go from 30 to 40 minutes, so maybe from 30 to an hour, whatever it is, but gradually do it. Don't just jump too far ahead because you're going to miss the benefits in between those times. So again, if you're doing it on a treadmill, gradually go up on incline and gradually increase the time, but give yourself a couple weeks at a time until you do that, because you're doing it consistently like 3 or 4 times a week. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna end this video now because I can keep going on about this, but the bottom line is that if you're out there and you're crushing, you're moving, you're making it happen, I'm proud of you and I'm glad that you're doing that, because that's important. The biggest thing to take away from this is just making sure that you guys understand that getting in the gym or being at home, if you have training weights at home, is lift weights. Make sure you're getting them at least 3 days a week. And then make sure you're complementing that with, at least 3 days of at least 20-30 minutes of cardio, depending on your fitness level, and get out there crushing it. Prioritize weight training, prioritize movement, and make sure that you're complementing your workouts with a proper nutrition. So with that being said, guys, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe it. I'm working hard to, make sure I give you guys direct answers on what you're looking for. Being an online fitness coach, one of the biggest things I want to do is I want to help as many people as I can. So if you're sitting back and this is helping you and you've watched some of my other videos, most important things I want to do is make sure that if this is a challenge you're having, we can jump on a call. It doesn't cost you anything and there's no obligation. It's really me doing my part to help as many people as I can. Now, the bottom line is that we figure out your roadblocks, we figure out what you're struggling with. We start uncovering a lot of these belief systems and myths that you're thinking and help really get you focused, because the goal as a coach is to help you have clarity, strategy, and then a goal, if that's something you want me to do to help you, is help you have the accountability and guide you through to your journey. So please subscribe to this video, keep watching this video. I'm going to keep pumping them out to make sure that you're getting the value that you need. Now, in the comments, bottom line is if there's something that you're getting from this, let me know. And if you're ready and you want to get on that call, just comment "I'm ready" below, and I got you. We'll figure out a way and we'll get you set up. But otherwise, you guys have a great day. Thank you again for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.